Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Please stand up and join me as we do start off the service with "This is the Day." This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day the Lord has made. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made.
Hey, go be seated. My name is Reverend Bob Brach. I'm your guest speaker for today. So let's open in prayer. I invite you to sit comfortably on your pews. Take a nice gentle breath of air in. Any cares or concerns or worries from that week behind us, the week ahead of us, see them mix with that air. And as we exhale, see them float out up through the ceiling air and be washed away in this beautiful California sky. Close our eyes. Take another gentle breath of air in and feel grateful for the Spirit moving in and through us. And we know that there is one presence, one power active in the universe and in our lives, and we are grateful for that power. We're grateful for our body temples that moves us around in this wonderful place. And we're grateful for each and every person that had a hand in bringing this wonderful service here to us on this beautiful Sunday morning. And with a grateful and thankful heart, all God's children said together, "Thank you, God." Together, "Thank you, God." Amen.
Good morning, Unity of the Valley Spiritual Center. George got us going here with a rousing song. And now we're going to have the blessing of the children, the lighting of the Christ candle. And this morning, our most experienced candle lighter in this community, Simon, is going to come up and light the candle for us. And I think I saw 2 boys come too. So will you come up with us too? You can help with the lighting of the candle. Let's get this, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Simon. There you go. Perfect. All right. So now we blow out the candles. You can blow out that one too. And we step forward. And Mr. Haber will lead us in our song, Blessing the Kids. Yes. Oh, let's first bless the children with our prayer. You are a beautiful child of God, perfect in every way. You are loved unconditionally, just the way you are. And we stay here just for a minute, and we say, if it's true for these guys, it's true for us. I am a beautiful child of God, perfect in every way. I am loved unconditionally, just the way I am.
I'm a
Beautiful child of God,
a wondrous spirit of love and peace. My light will shine forever. I'm a beautiful child of God. You're a beautiful child of God. A wondrous spirit of love and peace. Your light will shine forever. You're a beautiful child of God. We are beautiful children of God. We are wondrous spirits of love and peace. Our light will shine forever. We are beautiful children of God.
And now the kids will go to their Sunday school, if there is one. All right. My name is Richard Potts. I'm your service assistant today, and I will introduce our cast of characters. This morning we have Reverend Bob Brach, and he will say something. He's going to get us all going here with an inspirational talk called Do All You Can. I can't wait. We also have Warren Spaeth in the sound booth. He's our sound tech. We have Gloria Ramirez, who is on video. She does all of the Boxcast video that we do. We record every one of our services. And she keeps the speakers all prompted by putting the right slide up at the right time. All right. I would like to ask George Haver, our musician, who's been here many times. He's from our friendly neighborhood to the east, Davis. Will you please tell us about, I asked him to tell us something we don't know about him, and he came up with a good one.
Well, over the past many years, I've been a co-host of the Village Homes Performers Circle in Davis. It's been going on for 30 years. I haven't co-hosted all that time, but I've been participating in it for a long time. It's a monthly open mic, sharing music. There have been, kids playing solo ukulele. There's been poetry. There's been dance. There's been spoken word. It's been wonderful. And so we have it every month, and a featured performer or performers for a half-hour set at the end. So that's something that I've been involved with for a long time.
You know, and he's only 35 years old. I don't know how he got it all done. Thank you, George. Now it's time for our announcements. Oh, but before that, I'd like to invite Mei Ling up, and she is going to remind us of our agreement, Earth Care Covenant.
Okay. I'm going to read this, but then I'm going to share a little bit afterward. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, I invite you to say this with me. As a spiritual community, we are committed to being ecologically responsible stewards of our earthly home. We affirm that we hold a deep respect for all life and a sincere reverence for the interdependent web of all that is. We envision and take action to create a world where all life thrives, in harmonious interdependence. With compassion and gratitude, we strive to bring awareness to the vital balance of nature, to ourselves and others. We join together to mindfully support the well-being and protection of our natural environment, here and across the world. We declare our covenant with God to walk lightly upon this beautiful earth as we hold a vision of the highest good for all living beings on the planet, now and for future generations. Now, just briefly, I wanted to share a little bit of information about plastic bags and plastic bottles. And I forgot to bring my stats up, but every day in the United States, we consume about, I think it's 22 million bottles of water. That's every day. And as far as plastic bags, it's far more. I left my stats in my jacket, darn. What I wanted to say about that is that this is one place where we can take action, and I hope maybe all of us are already taking action on keeping down on the number of plastic bags we use, how we go to the market and shop with a regular bag that we carry with us, and maybe even put plastic bags that we've had before for produce bags and things like that in that bag and reuse them. So that's just one thought. And also the bottled water, as a church, we're doing great. We're not using bottled waters at all. And I think as a church, we're using plastic cups. We could even use paper cups for water and things like that if we wanted, but a lot of people don't. They just use these little bottles. And a lot of them end up in the ocean and in the environment. And those are all things. That's where we can protect our earth. That's within our ability to do. We can't deal with plastics all over. This world is full of plastics. We live with plastics. Some of the clothes I have on are plastic. All our synthetic fabrics are plastic. You know, and when you realize, I think somebody said cars have plastic in them too. So it's just something. But the things we can control, in our own lives, I'm inviting you to do that. Okay, thank you.
Nothing could be more unity than our relationship with everything and being. Okay, next announcement, or the first announcement, we're having an occasion here with Linda Kohler and Joy Hope, October 13th in the social hall. It's called a sound bath. And sound bath meditation is an ancient practice designed to bring deep states of relaxation and meditation using a variety of instruments: Himalayan singing bowls, crystal bowls, chimes, and more. Okay, that's October 13th. Second announcement, in my pocket, I have 2 little pieces of paper. My tickets to the Bunko Bash. And we do this every year. I think we've done it every year. Maybe, I forget I guess we skipped during COVID. But anyway, it's back, and it's a lot of fun. I'm a little embarrassed to admit how much fun it is. Very simple little thing, you know. You do your best, and then you move to another table, and anyway, it's just a kick. And sometimes you win all kinds of neat little packages, little prizes. We have these baskets, and let's see what my announcement says. Anyway, we need to I forget who you contact on that. Anyway, who? Gloria Ramirez. She puts together these baskets, so she asks for people to donate things to put in them, as well as if you are in a position to donate some kind of experience that could be one of the prizes. Wineries, tours, instant enlightenment. I forget what we've given in the past. 3, this year Team Unity, the Alzheimer's, the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Our friend Bob has been our captain of that for many years, and he told me again this year that this Unity Church is leading the pack of churches in Vacaville in terms of the amount of contributions that we're giving to this worthy cause, research to end Alzheimer's. So that walk will be October 19th in the Sassoon Harbor Plaza. Registration forms are available in the hall outside here. Number 4 and last event. We have an urgent need for volunteers to help with the Fourth Friday feed at Epiphany Episcopal Church. We need help with cooking, serving this food, and cleanup. Clothing and toiletries and other items available are dispensed, as well as food. So if you have warm clothes, it's starting to get chilly in the evenings, you can bring them, and they will be distributed to people who need these items. That's it for announcements. Now let's recite our statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power in the universe, and in my life, God the good.
Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where you ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. 'Tis the gift to be gentle, 'tis a gift to be fair, 'tis a gift to wake and breathe the morning air, and every day to walk in the path we choose. 'Tis a gift that we pray we may ne'er come to lose. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. 'Tis the gift to be loving, 'tis the gift best of all, like a quiet rain, it blessed where it falls. And if we have the gift, we will truly believe 'tis better to give than it is to receive. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we turn, turn will be our delight, till by turning, turning, we come around right.
Beautiful hymn, George. Wow, that's an old shaker hymn. It speaks to my heart. Well, hello again. It's good to be here. My wife, Reverend Margie Brach, sends her hi and hello, and she enjoyed being with you here. And we look forward to coming back again whenever you need another guest speaker. Well, the title of this talk is called Do All You Can. Do All You Can. When I was in ministerial school, one of the projects we had to do is we had to run a chapel service. And a lot of the tunes that my classmates seemed to pick was this song that's called Do All You Can. It's called Do All You Can with what you've got in the place you are with the things you've got. Do all you can. And I can see you by your face, Reverend Bob, stick to preaching, leave the singing to George. But yeah, that's the theme of it. You know, do it all you can with what you've got in the place you are with the things you've got. I came across a story of an older gentleman in New Jersey. He lived alone. And every spring he would plant a tomato garden. Well, this year, his son, Vinny, who was normally helping him, was a guest of the state in one of the local correction facilities and was unavailable to help him. So the old man wrote a letter. He says, Dear Vincent, I'm feeling pretty sad because it looks like I won't be able to plant my tomato garden this year. I'm just getting too old to be digging in a garden plot. I know if you were here, my troubles would be over. You know, I know you would be happy to dig the plot for me, like in the old days. Love, Papa. A few days later, he gets a letter back from his son, and Vincent had written this. Dear Pop, don't dig in that garden. That's where the bodies are buried. Love, Vinny. The next morning, 4 a.m., the FBI, local police show up with picks and shovels and a search warrant, dig up the entire backyard. Finding nothing, they apologize to the old man and leave. The same day, he gets another letter from Vinny. Dear Pop, go ahead and plant the tomatoes now. That's the best I could do under the circumstances. Love you, Vinny. So Vinny was doing all he could with what he had in the place he was with the things he had. You know, there's a story, there's a movie that Margie and I watched some time ago. It's called Blind Side. It's a football movie. Now, I'm not a big football fan. I was a high school wrestler, college wrestler, wrestling coach. King football, you know, we lost out to getting things because King football needed something. But anyway, watching this movie, I learned stuff about football. The two highest paid people in a football team, obviously a quarterback, but the other one is the left tackle, the guy who protects the quarterback. And they gave an example of when you pay bills in the month, you know, you pay your mortgage, and then you pay the insurance on the house. And the left tackle is the insurance for the quarterback. Because when the quarterback drops back in the pocket, the blind side he has trouble seeing, and the left tackle's job is to prevent anybody from sweeping around and sacking the quarterback. Well, this story called Blind Side, and I've seen some people shaking their head, they have seen it. Boy, it's about doing all you can with what you've got in the place you are with the things you've got, and about people working in our lives. It's a story about Michael Orr and Leanne Toohey. Now, Michael Orr was a 17-year-old African-American youth. He was in the foster care system since he was 7 years of age, but he kept running away from his foster homes. Leanne Toohey is an interior designer, fairly wealthy, married to a wealthy businessman. Both of these people living in Memphis, Tennessee. And it's interesting, Michael had run away from one of his former homes, and he's sleeping on the couch of one of his friends. Now, the father of that friend decided he's going to talk to this coach at this upscale Christian academy about getting his son and Michael into the school. Well, the coach sees Michael's big size and whatever, and despite his abysmal academic record, they let him into the school. Michael befriends a young man named S.J., who happens to be Leanne Tui's son. So they become fast friends. And one day, Leanne Tui is driving down the road. It's a cold fall day. It's raining. She sees Michael walking down, and she pulls over, asks him if he wants a ride. Finds out that he has no place to live or stay for that night. He was going to sleep outside the school so he could get in the school the next morning. So she invites him home, and through a period of machinations, he becomes an integral part of the Tui home. Much to the dismay of her rich friends, here's an African-American teenager living in this white family's home, and her parents were really upset about it. But she takes a real interest in Michael. When it became time for him to play football, he needed a grade point average. So she hires a tutor to help Michael get his grades up. She also is looking into becoming his legal guardian. And when she checked out in the social service thing, she found out he scored really low in all these career aptitudes, except he was really high in protective awareness. So as Michael becomes eligible to play football, he starts, his grades were up, he's playing football, but even though he was a big, powerful kid, he was so gentle and kind that he wasn't doing so good on the field. So Leanne says to him, what about this personal protective instinct you have? You've helped protect some of my son and my daughter in the past. What about protecting your teammates like you're protecting your family? Boy, that was the thing that Michael needed. His football career took off. And SJ started taking videos of him, sent them to the local colleges, and Michael ends up playing for the alma mater of Leanne Tui and her husband. Of course, there was some flap about the NCAA and whatever going on, but the end of it has Michael Orr, the real Michael Orr, being selected in the top draft of the 2009 NFL season, playing left tackle for the Baltimore Ravens. Wow. So to me, that story is about people doing what they could with what they had and the place they were. And about people stepping into their lives. Like the father of that friend of Michael who's sleeping on the couch. What if he decided not to bring Michael into helping with his son? Or Leanne Tui. What if she took a different route driving in Memphis, Tennessee, and she didn't see Michael walking down the street? Or maybe if SJ didn't have a video camera and take these videos and send them to the local colleges so he could get accepted. Wow. So for me, it's about working together and being aware of those people in our lives that are helping us, even though we, it's like a little tapestry all woven together. You move any one of those things, and it went a better, different outcome for Michael and everybody else connected. We don't have to be physically imposing or of well-to-do means to do wonderful things and be remembered in the world. In 600 BCE, there's a gentleman named Siddhartha Gautama. Now, Siddhartha, we also know him as the Buddha. He was born in his royalty. He decided to leave his rich palace and his family and went off in search of being enlightened. And after he became enlightened, he decided that he would spread his message out to the world. One of the places he was going to visit, Magdana, and King Barbasana wanted to really impress the Buddha. So he gave an edict out that all the citizens were going to get their little oil lamps. And when the Buddha came into town that night, they were going to line the street, and they all had these little oil lamps lit. There was an older woman, a widow, who dearly loved the Buddha, and she wanted to participate in it, but her oil lamp was broken. So she took and cut a piece of her dress from her sari to make a wick for her oil lamp. She went to the local store and got some oil, and the guy took pity on her, knowing her situation, and gave her some oil for her lamp. So she was out there with the crowd. They had their lamps lit, and she was holding it very close to her to protect it. And wouldn't you know it, a wind swept through the street and blew out every lamp, except this little lamp held by this old widow. Of course, the Buddha noticed it, and the Buddha is recorded as saying this: take note of this woman. As long as spiritual disciplines are practiced with this kind of love and dedication, the light of the world will never go out. Take note of this woman. As long as spiritual principles are practiced with this kind of love and dedication, the light of the world will never go out. Wow. Some 600 years later, another spiritual teacher, Jesus of Nazareth, was in the temple with his 12 disciples. And they were in the court of the women. And in that court, they have these 13 trumpets along the wall, which are places where they would drop their donations. You know, it's kind of funneled down. So I guess so if you dropped a coin in, you couldn't reach in and get it. And they're watching all these people making the donations. The rich people are making big ostentatious display of what they're putting in. But Jesus noticed this widow who's putting in 2 small coins. They're called widow's mites. They're like 1/128th of a denarius, much less than our penny is today. And she puts it in there, and Jesus notices it. He calls attention to his disciples. And Jesus is recorded as saying this: truly I tell you, this poor widow has put more than all those who are contributing to the treasury. For all of them who have contributed out of their abundance, but she, out of her poverty, has put everything she had, all that she had to live on. Wow. So in my mind, Jesus and the Buddha were into their beginner's mind. They began to see everything new. They began to notice the little things in life. You know, back in the BCE area and also the first century Jesus, widows were not high in the social pecking order. Neither were women. But they noticed them. They were doing their beginner's mind. And I was thinking about beginner's mind this morning as I'm coming down here. I'm thinking, what if driving down I-80 was a brand new experience for me? What if I had never driven down I-80? So and I'm driving on along, it's like, wow, I'm starting to notice new things along the thing. What is that little place with all those trucks in there? And the other thing, you know, we talk about God being active in our lives. I was getting ready to leave this morning, and as I'm driving down Franklin Boulevard, I thought, did I close the garage door? I see people, oh yeah, down there. Did they turn off the gas? Because normally I look at it and I go, garage door's down, I see the light, that tapping myself as it, whatever that practice is. And I thought, I'm going to turn around and go back. So I drive down the alley, garage door's down, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, maybe there is a reason why Spirit is delaying me come down here. Sure enough, just before Dixon, there was a big rollover accident. It must have just have happened because the 2 fire trucks, an ambulance, and a police car were coming down the side trying to pass me up and get to it. So, you know, had I left just that other time, who knows, I might have been there. So for me, that's God being active in my life, you know. And I just say, well, I'm on God's time. Here I am. Okay. Wow, beginner's mind. You know, it's been a very busy time in our world. And I came across a statistic that television commercials change their images every 1.5 seconds. Every 1.5 seconds they change their images to keep track of us. You know, we stream some stuff on cable, but if you do it on Roku, you have to they have commercials. I went, oh my God. And the other thing I've noticed, streaming Netflix, I get hooked into those little serial things, you know, the little episodes. And I've been watching them, and every 5 to 8 minutes, they change a little vignette. They may have about 3 or 4, sometimes 5 of these little things going in that episode. And they just shift it because they want to keep our attention. Wow. And the other thing is they have a little hook. You know, the other night I was having trouble sleeping. I said, well, I'm going to watch a little bit. Madam Secretary has been the thing I'm watching. And it's all about this political drama. I said, I'm going to watch one. Boy, it's almost 1 o'clock. Maybe I better go to bed. Yeah, I got hooked in to watch about 3 or 4 of them. So anyway, what do we do with all this pressure on to keep going? You know, 2 of the things we have in unity is prayer and meditation. Charles Fillmore defined prayer as the most highly accelerated mind action known. It's also a communication between God and us. And meditation are the silence. Our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, believed that him and Martel was telling all these different types of faith traditions, and he decided, in this babble, I can go to headquarters myself. So he sat in the silence every night at a particular time. And the silence all means meditation. And there's different forms of meditation. In our revealing word and unity define silence as a state of consciousness entered for the purpose of putting us in touch with the divine mind, so that the soul may listen to that still, small voice. You know, and in meditation, more is not necessarily better. You know, 2 minutes in meditation is as good as 30. You know, I came across a story about a snail that mugged the tortoise. And the tortoise goes to report it to the police. And the police ask him, well, what did the snail look like? And the tortoise says, I don't know. What happened so fast I couldn't see. Joke. I was parked in the back of a Prius at one stoplight last week. And the license plate says, remember, the tortoise won. We have a Prius. And one of the things, we want to get the most mileage, so we're driving slow, get those people behind us going, hey, get out of here. The tortoise won, remember that. All right, so one of the other things that came to mind is, you know, doing this prayer and meditation. It's about being aware of God in our life. God, I call it God Awareness Presence, GAP. Last year we were in New York riding the subways with my niece, and on the thing it says, the subway thought, mind the gap. And I was in a mall, the Gap store. So when you see these little mind the gap, or think about God Awareness Presence. You know, doing our prayer and meditation, do our meditation. And most of us say, yeah, I want to do that. I was talking to this gal yesterday, or Thursday, at the Y. We're talking about yoga and whatever. And I said, do you have a meditation practice? And she goes, well, yeah, you know, like, I should be doing it. And I said, well, you know, there's an app on my phone you can do. You know, we always would like to do this stuff, but we kind of procrastinate. We kind of put it off. But we can do stuff with people. You know, there's some centers have a sangha. Sometimes they have a video of Zoom meditation you'll be involved in. But being involved with other people. You can do it with a prayer group too. I'm not sure if your center here has a Zoom prayer group, but praying together, and never underestimate the power of the people working in our lives. There's a CEO who drove into the gas station with his wife. This was way back when they did the service thing. He's kind of proud of himself. Says, honey, if you weren't married to me, you could be married to somebody like this guy pumping gas. And the wife says, if I was married to him, he'd be the CEO of the 500 company and you'd be pumping gas. So never underestimate the power of the people that are active in our lives. You know, one of the other things that we can do on our meditation practice is call everything good. There's no bad meditation. And I get up in the morning now and I sit in my meditation chair in the living room for 30 minutes. And sometimes my mind is all over the place, and other times I'm one with God. They're all good. You know, we said that little affirmation up here, there's one presence, one power, God the good. Unity is a one power system. When I was taking my classes to become a licensed teacher, Maurice Williams was teaching this class over at Palo Alto. And I remember him standing up there saying, unity is a one power system. Because in the past I had been in this fundamentalist church where there was a good thing, good power, and another one, the devil. And I was kind of like the hockey puck in the game of life that they were fighting over. But, knowing that there's only one presence, one power. And 90% of the world believes that there's a dualism, that there is this force for good and a force for evil. But, we say there's one presence, one power. Sometimes I'm reading the morning paper, and Margie goes, honey, are you in the oh my section again? Because I'm going, oh my, look at that. How can God be active in this? Well, God is active in that. Somewhere, God is working. So, I talked in that story about Ruth Leanne Toohey and Michael Orr about people being involved in our lives. And there's a book called 6 Degrees of Separation. And I'm very, okay, see if your head's not. Somewhere, 6 people down the line, there's a direct connection to us. When I was living in Missouri, Margie and I were there for 8 years. I was going to this massage therapist and chiropractor once a month. So I show up, got my adjustment, getting ready to do my massage, and this gal says, Bob, do you know a Unity minister named Tom Lee? I went, yeah, he was in Margie's class, and he's my golf buddy. He says, well, I was driving down the street the other day, and I saw this beautiful brown leather binder laying on the side of the road. So I stopped and picked it up. And the only thing in it, well, it had some stuff in there, but it had Tom Lee's name and a Lowe's receipt. I had no way of contacting him, so I took it over to Lowe's, see if they could find him. They couldn't, so I left it there. And I said, well, I can find Tom. So I called Tom on the phone and said, hey, Tom, did you lose your binder? He goes, yeah. I said, well, go over to Lowe's. Somebody found it. But here is this massage therapist who has no connection to Unity, no connection to Tom Lee, finding this binder. So I think we have these people that are involved in our lives if we just open our mind and hearts to them. So, find those people and resonate with them. One of the things I used to do as a licensed teacher, I used to teach these SEE, or they call them CEP classes, continuing education. Now they're spiritual education enrichment, at the Unity Church in Modesto. And I was teaching this one class on Myrtle Fillmore's book, How to Let God Help You. Now, Unity has these wonderful classic books. I don't know if you have them in your library, but if I would encourage you to get a hold of a Unity classic book and read it before bed. I mean, the chapters are nice and short. I learned from experience. For a while there, I was reading these books called SEAL Team 6, the Navy's counter-terrorists. And I'm wondering, why am I having these hellacious dreams at night? And Margie goes, quit reading that. Read something spiritual. So I start reading the Old Testament. SEAL Team 6, blood, guts, and gore, sailor language. The Old Testament, blood, guts, and gore, spiritual language. She says, why don't you start reading some of our Unity books? So I would encourage you to get one of our Unity books. And this one, How to Let God Help You by Myrtle Fillmore, is great. And on page 146, she had written this. So, get busy with the truth you know. Love those about you in a practical way. Pay no attention to what others are doing insofar as making comparisons. Bring forth our own joyous world of love, friendship, beauty, and plenty. God has given you everything required to build such a world. There is within you the God-given intelligence to build such a world. Get at it. Get at it. We see these pictures of Myrtle. She's an old, frail. Remember, she was a fiery, red-headed schoolworm working in the frontier town of Texas. So get at it. When I was teaching this class, one of my students was in a T-shirt, had access to a T-shirt place. Next week he shows up and everybody had a T-shirt that said, get at it. Wow. So namaste, dear ones. Thank you for inviting me to be here, and looking forward to the rest of the time together. Now some beautiful music by George.
This next song is from an artist that a friend of mine talked to me about, introduced me to. Her name is India Ari, and she is talking here in this song about what we truly are and things that we really aren't the essence of who we are. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I'm not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the darkness inside. I am light. We are light, we are light. Oh, we are light, we are light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made or any other things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of a dream I left behind. Oh, I am light. We are light, we are light. Oh, you are light, full of light. I'm not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. I am light. I am light. Oh, I am light. I am light. Oh, you are light, full of light. Oh, full of light. Oh, light. I am divinity divine. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. I am light. I am light. You are light. You are light. We are light. We are light. Oh, we are light. We are light. Oh, we are light.
As we move into our period of meditative reflection, I invite you to sit comfortably on your pews. And if you're watching from home, sit comfortably on your chairs. You can close your eyes or let your gaze be softly forward, looking up at our sign there of that peace candle, saying, "Peace, be still." Bring our awareness to our feet and feel the pressure of our feet on the floor. The pressure of our body against our chair on which you're sitting. The gentle rise and fall of our chest as we breathe in and breathe out. This wonderful process called respiration, where we inspire the air and we exhale those waste products out into the atmosphere to be reused by other life processes, like these beautiful trees on the block outside. The ancient Hebrews used the word ruach for breath, for wind, and for spirit. So as we breathe in, think about the inspiration of spirit. That spirit that is out in the world, connecting with that spirit that was in each and every one of us. That spark of divinity that is there right within us, making that connection. And bring our awareness to our heart center, that wonderful physical organ that sends blood to each cell of our being and carries away the waste products. And if there's any part of our body temple that needs that healing hand of spirit, I invite you to see spirit-filled, love-filled blood flowing from our heart center to that part of our body temple, bringing about healing, wholeness, in the right and perfect time and in the right and perfect way. And if there's any person, place, thing, or event that needs the healing hand of spirit in our lives, I invite you to see it very clearly in your mind's eye. Then see that person, that place, that thing, that event, bathed in a blue-white light bubble of healing spiritual energy, bringing about the right and perfect solutions in a right and perfect time and in the right and perfect way. Now, Jesus of Nazareth, when asked by his disciples, saying, "Lord, teach us how to pray," he told them to go within to the closet of their being, to shut the door to the outside world, and the Father, which hears in secret, speaks in a small, still voice, but rewards openly. So we've gone to the closet of our being, our heart center. We mentally shut the door to the outside world. And we take a few moments as we rest in the silence and we listen for that small, still voice. Or perhaps images floating through our mind or images flashing across the screen of our mind as we gently rest in the silence. And now we bring our awareness back to our physical body. Feel the pressure of our feet on the floor, our body against a chair. And perhaps in that brief period of silence, we heard something like a small, still voice speaking to us, or images flashing across the screen of our mind, or thoughts flitting through our mind, or perhaps not. But we have made ourselves available and open to spirit. And perhaps later today, a book we're reading, a movie we're watching, an email from a friend, a telephone call from a friend, Spirit will speak very clearly about what is ours to do as we move forward in our lives. So now let's gently open our eyes and be fully present, ready for some gentle more music.
Thank you, George, for the music. Thank you, Reverend Bob, for a wonderful message. And I thank that small, still voice that you've been listening to pretty well. When he says get at it, he's done it at least twice in his life. First one, he became a commander in the Coast Guard and retired from that, and then said, what next? And jumped on it. 15 years ago, he became a Unity minister, and let's thank him for being here today. And speaking of people stepping up, we have a new usher this morning. Not only does she do everything, she does everything plus ush. So, Marcy. All right. So, as we ask ourselves, what can we do in response to this absolute glorious basket of gifts that we've received this morning? Hasn't this been just radiant and glowing? I really have enjoyed everything that has come to us, not only this morning, but in my whole life. And I'm sure you feel the same way. How do we respond? This is a reception and release process. We've received these things. We're overflowing with blessings. We give of our surplus happily to this wonderful church. Text to give. The number's on the announcement. Go to our website, www.unityvacaville.org. Press the donate button. It'll tell you what to do. All right. As the baskets come around, you know the drill. Give something if you haven't given yet. If you've already given, or if you are in a dry patch, hold your hand over the basket and bless the offerings. Now let's recite the blessing of the tithes and the offerings. God's love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive. I am grateful.
We have come together as family. We have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. We sing in celebration. We sing with words of prayer. We have come with arms wide open. We declare that peace is here. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with songs of praise, spirits in this place.
Please join me in our statement of affirming divine substance. The inexhaustible resource of spirit is equal to every demand. There is no reality in lack. Abundance is here and now manifest. And this is the wonderful ritual that I love about unity. When I first, many years ago, back in the 70s, went to a unity church and everybody joined hands and sang the peace song, I said, yes. So let's do it again.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, and peace that was meant to be with God our Creator. We are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now for our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. In our holy family, we celebrate our oneness and honor our diversity. And our closing affirmation, say it with me. Do all you can with what you have, in the place you are, with the things you have. Do all you can. Get at it. I'll meet in Greek. Right? Hey, you're welcome.
And then